Welcome back to another video of Automate and Elevate for tax pros. My name is Phylesha. I am a certified TaxDome consultant, and I basically walk you through how to use TaxDome from the view of a tax professional, a bookkeeper, an accountant, just any type of tax professional. And so today I am going to walk you through how to use reporting in TaxDome. The specific report that I am going to create for you today is basically you're going to compare the budgeted time that you have the budgeted time that you want to spend on a specific job, which I will. If you don't know what a job is, I will explain that in a later video, or I might have explained that in a previous video that you can look up. But essentially, a job is the service that you provide for an account. So for this instance, it would be you are going to be doing a tax return for a client. And so the job is the job within the pipeline. So going back to the reporting, I am going to pull a report that essentially will be tracking the budgeted time that you spend on a job and comparing that to the actual time that you spend on the job. Okay, so here in a moment, I am going to pull up my account in TaxDome and I am going to break that down for you. Okay, so as you can see right now, I am in TaxDome. Okay. And so you should, when you first pull up TaxDome, you actually might see your Insights dashboard. Okay. So getting into your reports, you hit reports on the left-hand side of your screen, go right down to, it will automatically show you overview. That will be the first view. And these last four reporting, these are all dashboards. Okay. These last four dashboards on my screen, you should see them as well. And that is automatically pulled by TaxDome. Okay, so the nice thing is you actually start with something. So if it relates to you, if you do have a team, you can see that your team capacity, the team time utilization, the tasks, jobs, and assignments, and then revenue monitor. Okay, now, as I mentioned before, I am going to show you a specific report. But first, we want to make sure that we have a dashboard already created. Okay. And I'm going to essentially put that report on this dashboard. But I've already created my dashboard here. It is called Demo Dashboard just for this purpose, for this video purposes basically. But now we're going to actually create the report. So want to go on the left hand side, click on Report Designer. Now we're going to be pulling the attributes on for the report, right? So right now I want to pull in, I said the job time budget. Okay, I want to pull it based off of the amount of hours. They have two type of measures here. If you want to do job time budget spent by percentage, or if you want to do it based off of hours, I want to pull based off of hours. And then the job time variance by hours again. So that's our key measurement, or the job time budget, how many hours we are going to be budgeting for each job. And then the time variance, which is how long did it actually take us to do that job. Next, we're going to then pull in the attributes. Now, I want to pull the attributes based off of the pipeline, essentially. Okay. Now keep in mind, now this is my own personal pipeline. I don't have a team. This job is essentially, well, I'm not gonna say I don't have a team, but essentially I don't need to track time budget, time variance. Okay. So if you are tracking those measurements, you will see data get pulled. Okay. But in this instance, you're not going to see data because I don't necessarily track that measurement. But I want you to pay attention to how I am pulling this information to create a report. That is the key. That's the key measurement. That's the key. Basically, that's what we're trying to pay attention to, not the data itself. So I want to pull based off of the pipeline. I want to pull it on a specific pipeline. And then I also want to break this measurement into the account. So give me what pipeline is on, and then what account, okay, it's based off of. And so I'm going to click on account name. And then I'm just going to scroll to see if I want to put any time limits on here, any dates. Right now, I don't want to put any dates. I'm not trying to track from a specific current timestamp. I just want to pull all this data. Okay, so once I clicked on the measurements, all the attributes, I go and click the go at the right hand side of the screen. It might take a little bit. Now, it did pull up one data, right? Now, this is not necessarily the type of chart that I want. I want it in a table. Okay, so right now it's pulling, I'm not totally sure what type of chart this is, but I want a table. So I'm going to just click on view table on the right hand side, top right side of the screen, hit table, and then it's going to do its thing. And depending on the amount of accounts you have, it could take a few minutes. I have seen from my client when I do a report like this, it takes a few minutes, especially if you have anywhere between, let's just say like 60, 70 accounts plus. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And also sometimes if it is taking quite a long time to pull the data, I have to just take out one type of attribute. So for example, account name might be a little bit too granular in the beginning. There is a way that we can add it into the report at a later time. So I might sometimes actually in this situation see, as you can see, it says query timed out. What I am going to actually do is just pull it based off of pipeline, and then later on I am going to add an account name. So let's do that right now. All you have to do is to delete something from your query. You just hit this X at the top. Now I just want to pull it based off of the pipeline. Don't give me account names right now. I'm just wanting the actual pipeline for each of the data. So the time variance budget, and then the time budget, and then the time variance. Okay. So let's click go. So you see how easy that was to pull up that data, right? So now that it pulled up the data, I only have two pipelines, right? My leads management pipeline and the new client onboarding pipeline. Data is 0. Okay. So now all you have to do, if you're now looking for, okay, but which account, I want to know how long is it taking for each account that I have in each of these pipelines. And that is when you can just later on, just add in account. Okay. Account name, right? Like that. And then you could just hit go, and it should just pop up easier, or not easier, but faster. Now, because I don't necessarily have the data, right? I remember we don't want to specifically pay attention to the actual data, but the actions that I am doing to pull up the report. Hopefully that makes sense. And so now that I actually have the report, I want to make sure, of course, I save it. So you hit the 3 dots on the right hand side, hit save. You name it whatever you want to name it. You can keep the same name. For this example, I will keep the same name. Want to make it discoverable. Maybe I have a team member, right, that wants to see this report. Now that I've saved this report itself, now it's time to pin it on a dashboard so that I can always go back and reference. I want to pin, click the pin button, and then now you see my demo dashboard that I created. Click that, and then you hit pin in it. Now at the bottom of your screen, it should show up a little pop-up right here. But if you happen to miss that little pop-up, you can always go to the left side of your screen, hit dashboard, and then go to the dashboard, and then here it is. Okay, so now that was a very, very quick overview on how to create a report specifically a report when you're trying to track the time that you budgeted on each job versus the actual time that it took and the actual time that you spent on a job. And that's really important, a key element if you're really looking, if you have a team that you have and you are wanting to track how long it's taking them on each account, or you just want to track that measurement for yourself if you are a solo practitioner. Okay. So again, my name is Phylesha. I am a certified TaxDome consultant. If you are looking for more hands-on help, I will make sure to put my email in the description. Feel free to email me anytime. I will be doing more of these types of videos, just walking you through different areas of TaxDome to get yourself familiarized. So again, I will thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.